The Out There channel.
Please sub and share.
Searching for the truth. UFOs, aliens, greys and ufology. Real images, real stories, real videos, real cases, researched and investigated by professionals in the field and cutting-edge discoveries. Multiple witnesses, abduction accounts brought to you by Team The Out There channel. Good to be back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Action.
Yo, welcome everybody. Just doing a special on the Turkey UFO case that was made famous by Dr. Leir and acclaimed alien entities seen inside the craft. It's one I first liked 8 years ago, but as I learnt more and more about technology, cameras, and how hoaxes are made, I changed my mind on that, and I've done some serious analysis on it, which I will try and prove beyond doubt, or as close to, that it wasn't a real UFO with aliens. Okay, let's see if we can organize this a bit better with the side chat. So it's 2 o'clock here in the afternoon. Should be evening in USA and early morning in UK and elsewhere. Oh, I stuffed it up. What have I done? Maybe it'd be better up there actually. So I'll just get this organized. Pilled should be at the top. Just not be able to grab it for some reason. Not that anyone's going to be popping on the side chat probably. It is what it is, guys. I think it's still too long. I can't see the prompt there. Okay, that'll do, I suppose. Alright, so let's kick this off. So we're doing a deep dive video analysis live debunk I mistyped it. I don't know, I can't see it. Turkey. My eyes particularly blurry today, unfortunately. Turkey UFO case. with aliens. I've got some all sorts of crap happening here. Let me just... Let's just make sure it's working. Yep. So I'm going to attempt to assemble it all together. My analysis, my observations of it, and go from there. I've been trying to shrink it down into a nice clear-cut presentation, but it's very hard to do. As anyone out there has tried to tutor and create their own university notes. Okay, how do we pin it? Yeah, so yeah, that one's done. Okay, finally get there. Yeah, so I used to believe in this case, so we'll just go over it. Especially when I was new into ufology, people were saying that a load of experts analysed it, said it wasn't hoaxed and all this, and Dr. Leir was there who witnessed it and blah blah blah. So what's the real facts of it all? So what's the real truth? What's the exaggerations? Well, the first exaggeration is Dr. Leir did not observe the craft. He just saw a point of light in the sky, which I think probably what they were watching there was a star next to the moon, and the cameraman was focusing on something totally different. So we'll just go over that and explain it. So yeah, you ever seen magic tricks done in front of you and you wonder how they managed to pull that off without you noticing anything? Well, there's magicians in the UFO field too. And why do they do it? Fame, money, all sorts of things, right? Which really ruins the UFO topic for us. That's sort of why I've got into the field, is all the stuff out there that's being promoted has clear explanations for it, while the good stuff is actually being suppressed further and further down the bottom of the list. I'm also an experiencer, but also a scientist. I'm a qualified computer scientist, and I never expected to have my skepticism challenged, but it has been since I've been in the field, and with the paranormal as well as alien visitations, which in my life I would never thought would ever happen. Now, I know I was off sound mind, and I wasn't on drugs at the time. I do painkillers, which are drugs, of course, but yeah, at the time I wasn't not doing the drugs for the pain. So yeah, my mental state was normal, plus I had daytime visitations as well when I'm fully awake. So yeah, so this is why I'm in the field trying to get the answers, but we can't progress if we are being fooled and made look like idiots. No one's going to believe us. So we need to get rid of that noise to be able to progress into this field deeper and get the answers we seek before we die. Now, unfortunately, I've got a cataracts in the left eye, so my left eye is no good to me, and my right eye has its good and bad days because it's doing most of the reading on the screen. So yeah, so I'll probably end up having to zoom in a lot more than I usually have to. So let's begin. So before you start yelling at me saying I'm a debunker, I don't believe, that's not true, and I always keep the middle ground and follow the evidence. Like I said, I wanted this case to be true, same with the STS, what was it, 75, was it? The one where the so-called UFO was meant to have a laser bolt or a missile fired at it. Which I've also analysed in the past and have debunked that one as well. So the two top cases that I used to like, no longer believe in. But there are cases out there I do believe in and haven't managed to debunk those. So yeah. So let's get into it. So let's start off with Serious UFO Group, and they got a video up. So what happened is it happened over 3 years, and I believe he changed his camera over those three years. So he had 3 years to perfect it, and this 2009 was his better stuff. So let's have a look. Unfortunately, it's also summer here and full of pollen all around this area, so I might end up sneezing occasionally, so forgive me. Alright, so this is one of the videos he recorded with information. May the 17th, 2009. Now, I think this was 2 days after the Dr Leir one. So he's filmed it again. And this thing up in the sky here is actually the moon. This is on a Handycam, a Canon Handycam with a teleconverter, an adapter, and a telephoto lens. So yeah, it's not going to be good as the P1000 Nikon, but let's see, the technology has progressed on a wee bit since 2009. You can see this is what we generally get on our smartphones, a blurry moon. And this is meant to be the alien craft. So we'll just look at it a couple of times and look for clues here. Okay, so we just worked out this is the moon, and this is the other bright object next to the moon that Dr. Leir was talking about. Now, oddly enough, it's always in the same location, but we'll just go over that and explain why it is. Now, why other experts didn't question it and figure it out, I don't know. So we've sort of got a half moon. It looks like blood red even. So the sign, that's where it was filmed from. I believe Istanbul is over here. I forgot to pause it. Let's go back to the map. And the witness in the UFO said to be somewhere in the middle of the sea of, what's it called? A sea or something. I have actually bookmarked it. Yeah. The sea, what's it called? The Sea of Mamara. Mamara, I guess that's how you say it. Okay, so there were lots of other sightings as well, with lights in the sky above the sea, and they're so totally different to what this guy here is filming. Why did it stop? Alright, paused it. And of course now they show us what handy cam he's got, but that's not actually one of the lens added on the front. So he says here he was using a Canon DM back then, but I believe in 2009 it was a Canon GL1, so which is also 20 times optics. So I'm not sure if this information is actually correct. And 100 times teleconverter mounted on 58mm adapter. So the adapter is another bit in between. Teleobjective is a Sony brand. So they're connecting a Sony adapter lens to a Canon. Straight away we see that there could be a problem with the optics, where you mismatching brands together. So not sure we got the other videos, but Mick West has got a page up showing all the images over the years here. Now you can notice the timestamps are different formats depending on the year. So 2007 it's there, 2008 it's like this, a straight line underneath. So obviously different camera, or they can change the format to a single line on the camera. And you can see the 2009 is similar to 2007, 2008 is different. There you go, look. Now have a look at this. If you weren't told this was meant to be an alien craft, and you had to go from what you're seeing, wouldn't you say that kind of looks like some metal object that seems to be circular? Alright, you can start to see the curvature there and the curvature there. And that one there looks like it's been cropped off. It's got a black bit underneath here. It's like again curvature where it's been cropped off. Curvature cropped off there. That one there looks almost three-dimensional. It's like it's a circular thing on an angle that's been cropped off. And why would that be? So we'll have a look at all the different camera lens parts to understand what was going on here. Cropped off, cropped off. That one's low down but still cropped off. This one's zoomed in even more, but you can see it's cropped off. Again, it looks three-dimensional metal object. Circular. And what's circular on a camera? The edge of a camera lens, right? So straight away I'm suspect looking at some of these images that look like something that's on the camera itself. And this one here, that's the most strange looking one. But when you start looking at all the camera parts, it starts to fit together. and they've got some links to the 2008 one. They made these claims that it was a front of a ship, which is nonsense, because you know, you think Mick West is an expert on this sort of stuff. You would think he would see this, especially because he got the bokeh one, which again he got the information from somewhere else. You would think you'd see that as a camera artifact of some sort with the actual gear the person's using, like the telephoto lens or adapters, or inside the camera, or it's been modified to show this thing inside the camera somehow. So yeah, we'll just keep on looking. 2008 again, you can see the timestamp is different. So I guess that either had been changed in the settings, which is a terrible format, because when you got single digit numbers, you don't know which one's the month and which one's the day number. Is it using the UK format, English format, or is it using USA format here? You see where the month and day get switched around. This one's fairly obvious. It's got AM. So there's the coastline. And again, you can see the sea here, where a ship on the water would be. But we saw that same angle. There's a lot different angle there to this angle here, and it's above the sea level, so it rules out the ship. Just trying to find the other one with the pattern lights. There you go, another map here. It's like an inland sea almost, isn't it? But yeah, they're seeing from one side of the landmass to the other here. And that also explains some of the other sightings, right? So not necessarily ships, but you got lights of houses and high-rises, and the thing called Fata Morgana effect, where it can make things look larger if it's a superior mirage and in a different location. And of course the ship one is wrong as well, because if you had to reflect the light off from the horizon higher up, it was way above where superior mirage could possibly be. It only works in a certain range. The object doesn't really look like a cruise ship to me. No, it doesn't to me either. It looks more like part of the lens. But the angle here is a strange one. It doesn't look like it's enough arc change, right? It looks more stretched out. So yeah, we just have to explain that. So again, this is the guy that filmed it. I think he's lost a bit of weight since then. And that's one of the cameras he used. I think this is the 2009. So they got a lens here, and then he's touching something down here, like he's turning knobs on the outside here, which changes the the focal length, and it moves the lenses inside the camera back and forth to get it in focus and all that sort of stuff. And you can see here is another bit. So it looks like 2 bits mounted in front of the Handycam. So they're saying the Sony converter is that, which looks like it's just this bit here. So we need to explain what he's got here and here, and what is he moving with his hand down here. So when you look for a sleight of hand trick where people are faking something straight in front of you, you got to look for optical illusions or sleight of hand trick. Now we have to look more into how the camera lens works and all that yet. This is what's called a deep dive. I got a lot to cover to make sure everybody understands how it's all fitting together. So they're talking about the angle of view, where the camera could pan to, where he was standing. So you can see it's like a nice beachfront there. And there's a picture of the moon. That's the May one we looked at. May 17th. But there's also May the 13th, I think it is. I guess looking at boat lights. Showing where the marina is, where he was standing. So I was looking for the other videos. Let's see if I've got them here. Okay, that's May 15th, 2 days before, and then they did May the 13th as well. That's the Dr Leir one, I think. So I'm not too sure what they're saying here. It seems to get bigger when he zooms in, not just due to blur, so it may be a planet instead of a star. Yeah, so we'll look at the star map as well. Okay, so this is another thing they got, and you can see the shoreline here, but as you know, Fata Morgana always works in this region above the sea, about here. So again, this is not where he was aiming the camera to zoom in for the craft. Because the moon is not going to be that low down. It's going to be over here. It's not going to be that low down on May the 15th. So what are those lights? These lights here. Well, I had a look on the map. Like I said, it could be distant house lights, but why wouldn't we get more of them? So sort of rule out house lights being across the other side of the bay myself. I'd say it'd have to be some lights that are higher up. Could it be planes? But then if you have a look around on the map here, I search for wind farm. As you know, wind farm always have a bright red light on top, and there's quite a few locations where they've got wind farms, all visible from the bay that they're filming from. One going over this way and one going straight across, which is more explainable. So the red lights we can explain are most likely going to be a wind farm. So if we zoom down here, you can see all these little white dots coming off a road are all wind farm, and they go for quite a distance. But this is the current map, so they've probably added on a few over the years, expanding it. So yeah, there's plenty of wind farm and lights on the top to avoid planes gliding into them. And it looks like it's on terrain here. So mountain tops. So you can see the wind farm. And you can see how tall it looks funny from satellite. But you can see the shadow that it's casting. And at normally top they have a red light on, but because this is a daytime shot, we don't see the red lights. So what 4 lights could it have been? Well, it's going to be 4 lights that are on a hill going like that probably. You know, like a, if we could see it 3-dimensionally. Probably have to go to Google Earth to do that. Topology, right? I don't think the map does it. But we're not going to talk about those lights and trying to nail exactly what 4 lights they're seeing. But to me, that looks like the answer here. It's right across from where they're filming. Quite interesting, eh? So why didn't experts actually look at this sort of stuff? I don't know. It's way before I started my UFO channel and started learning about the technical details of cameras and stuff. So I actually haven't got a handy cam and telephoto and converters and adapters to be able to replicate it, which is a bit unfortunate. But we should be able to use common sense and look at images that we can find on Google to try and suss out things, just like we have done here with the 4 lights, which looks a similar shape to what he was filming, the same curvature, right? So they're assuming it was the same craft. But to me that looks like a mountain range where the wind turbines are, and also a bit foggy there, and some Fata Morgana going on, because you can see it's right on the coastline. Now I believe there was another person called UFO Proof that actually discovered this, and I have to say he's correct looking at my analysis of it here. So let's just keep on looking. And then we got one for May 17th. So I'm surprised that Mick hasn't even looked on the map to see where the wind farms were. Turkey's big onto wind farms and renewable energy. Alright, he's thinking it's a boat. So that's funny how you can be trapped in a line of thinking which takes you away from the actual answer. So what's that meant to be? An oil rig or something? Yeah, but if it was that, Mick, you know it's got too many lights on it. But if it's coming out the fog, I guess some of the lights could be blocked. But yeah, I think it eventually show up some of them throughout the whole video, right? Now trying to work the angle between the moon and the object. Now what's interesting I noticed is always follows the lens flare angle. So are we seeing a false image on the lens, a reflection that he zooms in on? And I went from there. So if we go and open up the folder here. Hey Jasper, I just noticed you there. Yeah, you're good on time. Thanks for showing up. I'll check up in the comments in a minute. It's a complex topic, as you can see. That's why no one will actually do a live debunk on it. Only I'm brave enough to try and do it. But as you can see, I've already debunked the forward lights over the water being Fata Morgana of a distant wind farm. Now we just got to do the Dr Leir one. Now you can see I've been looking at all the camera parts. But it doesn't mean that he hasn't modified one of these parts with something inside. So yeah, we'll just go through what we can. What was I going to look for? Lens flare. Okay, where's my lens flares? So let's have a look. That was the original. Oh no, this is a lens flare. Okay, so this is someone's lens flare. And it always comes down on this particular angle on cameras. That's one of them, and you can see creates all these little circles and sometimes little crowns, but you can see it looks like it's reflecting light of the glass lenses inside the telephoto. Alright. So again, we just have to explain how that works. So have I got a diagram here? Did I save it? There's a lot of technical stuff you have to understand. I'm not sure, I can't see it. Lens, I'll just shrink that back down. Just open up that. So let's draw something here, just to explain it again. Want circular. So we've got lenses inside a camera. Alright, and these can move, you know, sometimes there's going to be several of them. These can move independent of each other with little dials around the outside of the telephoto lens. And then you have at the back panel a sensor, which is normally square. Alright. So we've got to understand what's going on, and also we want to have a moon. Draw it three-dimensional here. Red. So we've got the moon, and then we've got light coming off it. Now you notice that he only captures this craft when the moon is half moon to 3/4 the moon or full moon, because you need that light going into the camera. That's part of the clue what's going on. So the light's coming into the camera here, but as you know, glass does reflect some light back. So some light, obviously, I'll just redraw that. bounces back off the lens, and some of it passes through. Oop, I've got to click off it. And some of it passes through onto the next lens. Now this one also, depending on how it's arranged in the telephoto, can also got to click off it again. Can also reflect some light back. It might be directly back, almost be close, or it might not reflect at all if it's straight. But let's say there's some reflected back, but you don't see it, and some of it passes through onto the next one, and so on. So again, that one there could reflect back off this one on a different angle, and then it flicks that light back to the sensor. So we've got the original light coming off the moon, coming through this way onto the sensor. That's also creating a false image down here, which is going to be a smaller object. Okay, so once you understand how optics work, okay, so we've got this thing, but it's also upside down. Okay, so our brains automatically see the same way, but flips the images around in their head to make it the right direction through our eyes. Because all this is based on nature, right? The eye lens and all that sort of stuff. And that creates a little false image of the moon on the back of the lens here, and then the sensor picks it up. And of course, the way it looks like on the camera, looking straight through the viewfinder, is you get a little blob of light like that. Okay, does that make sense to you? Trying to explain it the best I can in lay terms. So we know there's a certain angle because of the curvature of the lenses here. So this is like a reflection. What we call internal camera artifact, or better known as lens flare. Maybe stick it further down. And that's how it works. It's not too hard when you think about it. Now, this is why they're trying to get away from having plastic or glass lenses to using titanium rods, nanoscale microscopic nano rods, which act like little mirrors and reflect the light without causing any refractions, and internal camera artifacts. So let's just keep that in their head, not get too far ahead of ourselves at the moment. Like I said, it's a complex topic. There's a lot of technical stuff to it. This is why UFO people that have got 8-second attention spans will never understand this stuff. And you need people like me with science degrees to be able to break it down for you and show you how it can be a false image. I got some examples of other lens flares here. And this one here is quite a long one, right? But you can see again the shape of the lenses, right? You can actually see the shape of the lenses it's going through, and some of them are not all convex, but they might be a flat side with a concave, and that could be one of them there reflecting back, and it looks like a satellite dish going that direction. And you can see each of these are going to be some reflection back of each of the glass lenses if you get it on a bad angle. and that's a real bad angle. So you can see there's actually probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bits of glass in that part of it. That's probably the telephoto. This is probably the teleconverter. It has also glass in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you probably got something within the camera itself. 1, 2, 3. So we have to get a picture of a lens up now to explain those bits of glass, right? Okay, so there's the example. 1, 2. You can see it's got two lenses, different shape, with a concave there. We've got a flat side lens here with a convex on the outside. Then we got double concave, a single concave, and then we got a convex one, then one that's sort of like a smaller angle convex, and then another type of convex lens there, and then a concave one here, and so on. So all these are bits of glass where you can actually get internal lens reflections from. So if the light bounces around inside the camera, it's possible that you could see inside some of the reflected bits in the camera if the more glass and things you snap onto the front of it. And if it's poor maintenance or damaged or whatever, you might get a part inside the camera there that reflects like a mirror onto the lens and creates a false image. And then you can adjust these things on the outside. They rotate around where they move the glass lenses inside. And you also have levers as well, and to calibrate things, right? It's complicated. Optics is complicated. How will Travis Taylor passed his exam on it? I don't know, because he thinks flies flying in front of the camera are UFOs. So yeah, I need to go to his university and start getting my optics degree. I'm pretty much self-taught on all this stuff. Done a lot of reading, looking at a lot of diagrams, and I don't think I've done too bad. So yeah, so that's inside a lens. Here's another one example where you got the camera and you got the sensor. You can see the sensor here. It's actually in a square window. And then you got your adapter that allows you to join onto the camera more lenses. And you have the adapter's lenses. And you can see it has all these settings on the outside that you can rotate around and calibrate the lenses inside. But you can see it's got all these nice little grooves inside. And it's got these little dots that kind of look like alien heads. And yeah, if they reflect onto a lens, could explain what's going on. So I started looking at all various bits and pieces here. So we'll just bring up a few. Oh, that one that doesn't like. Hang on. Why doesn't like it? Computer likes it, but not the old graphics viewer. Let's change it to JPEG. And does it come up now? See, just the name extension. So these are all these different connectors. 3 dots. Okay. This kind of weave it looked like what he was filming. So if we go back in here, you get these little light bits inside, these little gaps. So what are we looking at here? If this is a lens, what's going on? Inside these have all sorts of crazy stuff inside that controls. Again, that's opening up the wrong one. That's going to be annoying. I wonder if I can associate the just change that. WebP is the new format. It means web picture, and there's WebM, which means web movie. That's so web pages like HTML can actually display it correctly. WebM is like a streaming format, but also web enabled format, so you can just stream straight to a web page. But anyway, that's another technical thing. So yeah, we just want to make sure they're JPEG so we can actually view it here. Okay, here's the example. So we can see the blades inside that limit the lot of light getting to the sensor. But on the outside here, you can start to see there's little holes inside with little bits of levers and metal, like so, with little dots. So I thought, yeah, could he have been filming this that's been inverted inside the camera? So I kept on looking and looking to see if I can find a proper match. Another one here. Again, you can start to see the grooves. Dots, dots, little dots, a hole. Has got the right angle. It's got these little lines that are. We're looking at a 3D object in 2D here. So we got these lines very similar to what's in the video. So a line, and then we've got another line, then we've got the outer edge. But how did he manage to get it to reflect so it's like more three-dimensional? So is it more than just a camera reflection from inside? Has he somehow angled or loosened off something so the angle changes? And I think that's the case. He must have known what he was doing. So keep on looking at these different camera adapters. They call them mounts. Goes in between the telephoto and the camera, which is probably the place where it would have to be to create the false image, as I've shown you in the diagram here. We know it has to be somewhere in front of the sensor, but before all the telephoto side of things. Now, if you could move that lens here further back, that reflection will be smaller. Move it closer, then the reflection gets bigger, right? So you can see in that picture where he was holding the camera, that location in front of the camera here would be where he's turning a dial, which is moving this bit in and out. So even though he's filming the moon, he can actually control the zoom level at this part of it as well, and the focus, and make that bigger. And if you have a watch of the video game, that's exactly what he does. Where's the moon? There somewhere, isn't it? Let's just watch this one again. Okay, so he's mucking around with the doll near the front of the camera. Which is casting a bigger reflection. Gone too far, have we? There's the moon. And then you can see the moon disappears off shot. Doesn't keep the moon in focus. He doesn't pan from the craft, keeping the same focalness in any of the videos. He doesn't, he zooms in onto this craft, so-called craft, but you don't see him then pan up to see the moon with that zoom level. He never ever does that. It's always there for calibration. At the moment, you can't actually see the dot of light that he wants to focus on. I think that's what he uses the moon for. He uses the moon to try and see it down here with in the focal eye focus. But you can see there, it looked like it was chopped off. So there's something more going on in the camera for a square bit to be in the way here, which is chopping off some of the light. Alright, so now we've seen where the dot of lens flare is. You can see it's on that particular same angle as lens flare, right? There's the moon, there's the false image. It's very hard to see, but if you keep on watching, you'll see, you'll zoom in into this bit here. And the moon disappears, right? You never ever see him pan up to the moon after that point. Again, you can start to see the lines. You can see it's been chopped off here. So there's a square part in the camera that's chopping off any of the light beyond that. Else we'd see the whole, probably, of the lens here and the rest of it going around. Yeah, it's I guess it's best pre-Nikon P1000 days, when you could actually got a lot better quality image of this, right? Handycams, they were big back in 2000, but you think people wouldn't be using them in 2009. That's the point. When did the P1000 come out? P1000. So I've been days looking at this. It's very expensive still. And that's American. Released 2018. See, it's way before this guy had that sort of technology. And the P900, that's probably a few years before, which is also a fairly good camera. Is it going to tell us? Probably have to put released date. 2015. So it's way before, way after 2009, I mean. That one's only 600 US, so we can afford a P900. Not really. I can't. So, getting back to this. So we got these little holes here. So let's go back to my selection of images. And different lenses. Or adapters, I should say. They call them mounts. Here's one that's explaining it. Aperture signal lever. So there's a lever there. I got the blades inside here. Positioning pin, lens mounting index, a reserve pin. Automatic aperture lever, so another couple of levers, a switch pin. So there's a lot of pins. Which make good alien hits. Full aperture signal fin. Okay. So we're hot on the trail now. Let's see how this hoax was pulled off. Aha! This is a good one, isn't it? Look at all those gaps and bits in it. Now, so if you pull off a cover on it and expose some of the inner workings, which he may have done, we get little sorts of things that we can reflect off and cause an alien craft look-alike. And you can see there's all sorts of gaps and little lever bits that pop up here. Square holes. So go back to the video going. Square holes. Oh yeah, it looks like a lever here. Another square hole there, another square hole going around that way. I think we're nailing it more and more. Okay, the next one. Oh, I've already got it open, have I? That's a web page one. Need to rename it. Yeah, it's annoying that. We want JPEG. Let's have a look at this one. Lots more little holes going around. Looks very reflective material here. And it's got little pins inside a hole here that look very much like alien heads. But it's not the right one, is it? No. There's a little hole down here. A little square hole. Looks like it's got a lever of some kind. Another hole there with two little alien heads on it. Are you getting where I'm going? Any people disagreeing with me so far, put your hands up. Here's another one, different angle. And you can see we've got levers, holes, and even around the outside here we've got even more. But how did he do it? We know it's got to be something to do with the parts inside the lens. But how did he modify it? That's the question. And that's the hard one to solve. We can see here on this Nikon to, Canon to Sony, because he was using a Canon to Sony. This is a adapter. But not only has this one got pins inside, it's got grooves inside, and it has a thing that pulls out. With a little catch. And it's got little rollers here, which calibrates it by the looks of it. Look at that, lots of little rollers. So, could he have put something inside something like this and simply wiggled the wheel around, or maybe uncatched it a wee bit and just slid it slightly this way so it's in the way of the light entering the telephoto? That would cause a more of a reflection. That's my gut feeling what's going on here. The guy must have known he was hoaxing it. But unfortunately we can't get a view. We can't actually look inside and pull it all apart to figure out how he did it exactly. But we have an idea what we're looking for now. And it's just a matter of finding the right image parts to map it exactly with the image. That's what I've been trying to do without much luck, of course. But we got a few more things to look at. And I'm not sure if I've got all the examples here. I've got too many things open. So that's the picture of him again. Just get that back up again. He can even do it while smoking. Okay, so you can see there's a lot of things clipped on here, and what's his hand doing down here? Alright. Here's another example of a camera or lens on it. And you can see he's sliding out a thing on the side of the camera here. So this is where you can put filters in, basically in the converter or adapter, or mount as they call it, adapter mount. They have different names for it. You can just slide it out and put a different color filter in. But you can see all the calibrations and rotating things here, levers. Doesn't take much imagination to see how someone can trick people. What's that one? Okay. So this one here has the square bit going on. See this? There's a square, rectangular. It also got the contact points that connect to the camera CPU, I guess, to control automatic zoom in and out motor, probably voltage and all that sort of stuff. So I thought, oh yeah, we got square bits as well. I think I had some more images here somewhere of the square bits. Now we can see there's a square bit inside the camera cavity. Let's have a look at that one. Square bits. See? That sort of explains something now, doesn't it? And it's got lever, so you can get little square bits on these adapters, and you can slide in lenses in front of it. And maybe that wasn't mentioned when people were asking him for technical details of camera. He may not have told them the full truth. So yeah, if you look at this, you can see it's clipped off. So I did another analysis here. We're trying to work out if he's moving something within inside the camera itself, because we now can see all the parts that allows it to happen. You could even have some sort of other light source inside there that illuminates something even, but I don't think he's doing that. I think it's all done by natural light. Alright, yeah, I did all this analysis here. Okay, first one. Let's have a look at that one. Alright, so I tried to work out if it was the lens. Why doesn't this sort of wrap around the lens? Alright, we're seeing inside the lenses the various parts. So I went from that to the next one. That one, is it? No, that wasn't. That was the last one. Where's the next one? Here somewhere. Right here. This one I left to show you me bending the part of the lens inside the camera to see if it matches up the curve. And you can see here, oh, open there. I must have hit the arrow key by mistake. You can see the curve means that 3D object had to be angled down and to the left, and that's where his hand is, right? His hand's over here, so he's pulling something down and to the left, and it fits then the shape, as you can see, curves around. Give or take a few millimeters, and poor quality image, right? You can see here that circle is now looking more oval like. So we're going from that. Oh, did I close it down? Alright. That was the next one. That's a square bit. Did I close it down? I must have closed it down. So we went from a circle bit which was that one, I think. Okay, we've gone from straight on view, looking inside the camera, and I moved the date out the way. The date's up here, but I moved it out the way. So you can see there's the inner ring reflection, and there's the outer ring reflection with the little bits that we looked at inside the camera. Okay. And then finally, I angle it that way, and then the next one. So I put the image back over top of the curvature that I worked out here with the camera overlay date, and you can see it gets cropped off there. So we need to probably see if we could compare that to the lens. So let's just do that. So we want that one, was it? I'll open it up. Complicated, I know. And then we want to get an image of the square bit inside. And see if we can scale it down. Unfortunately, it's not going to be that easy, is it? So we're looking at something like this on the adapter. Alright. Starting to make sense now. I should get a Nobel Prize for sussing this out, shouldn't I? Okay. And we want the one of the square bit. Was that the bit of the square bit? Let's have a look. There we go. Unfortunately, we need one looking straight at us, don't we? But can we rotate it around? Probably can. It's going to be a bit deformed though. It's getting more and more complicated. So can we match up that square hole with this square hole? That's what I'm asking here. And we can sort of rotate it around. My eyes were a wee bit better. And you can zoom in. I think that square hole would match up with that square, right? Now that's position. And I think it says Canon to Sony here too. Canon. Oh, I stuffed it up now, have I? Yeah, I don't know if we can rotate it the way we need it. We need to go around that direction, don't we? How do we do that? That's probably easier. Grabbing the outside, doing it this way. So there's the square hole that we want to get in. And that's the whole recorded area here of the graphic that's stored on the tape with the timestamp. So we know there's no light here because it's being cut off. No, it would fit in there. Let's see. Can we erase some of it? And you thought it was going to be a simple 10-minute debunk, didn't you? What is it? Alright, it's really a lot of pixels on the image. I have to go bigger. There we go. So, want the square bit. I think I've done pretty well to piece it all together, considering I haven't actually got the camera or had any experience with that particular camera. Yeah, I think it would fit, you know. Probably have to scale it down the right size. Yeah, I don't know what you'd call that. But yeah, I think you get the idea. I had another one here with a square bit. Wish the images were a wee bit bigger. Was it that one there? Let me just have a look. And layer. Oh, that's really small. Well, it is, but we're dealing with lots of pixels here. That's when the computer hasn't played up. Where haven't I got it? Oh, stuffing it. Oh, here we go. Grab it. Come here, sucker. We want to be able to see you. Oh no, that one hasn't got the square bit in it. But it's certainly got all the extra bits around the outside that we're looking for. You see all that there. Are you with me? People, are you? Of course, no one's going to believe it, right? Because if you can't match it 100%, they're not going to believe it still. Even though common sense says it's internal lens reflection. Where's Yaz? He used to like me doing this sort of stuff. Has he lost interest in me too, is he? I know they have their niche followers, right? And if you call out their niche followers as bullshitters as well, not true truthers, but fakers, they get all upset. Okay, you see what I'm saying? And it might not be the exact part, but you can see that's going to sort of match up, right? And with that square bit in front, I only see a little square rectangle bit through it. Bingo. And if somehow he's pulling that in and out on the adapter on the side here, could be how he's changing the 3D look of it, you know, because it's slightly on this angle this way. Looks like he's playing around with it to me, with a lever or something there. Let's just zoom in so you can see it better. Okay. We know it's not the right part, but it's close. Alright. There's a hole there. And we know it has to be angled in. We know it's not truly looking at us, so we have to angle this bit through my analysis I've done here with the sphere. We know it has to be angled downwards. What's going on? Alright, we know it has to be angled down a bit. We got bits here, bits coming out the side. So what part are we looking at of something like this? That's a very good question. And the way I'm moving it around here, it almost looks like what he was doing when he was trying to adjust it, right, on the camera. It's very similar movement even. Again, it probably needs to be, we could rotate it around. So we've probably got the right angle here. So all we want is this little bracket on the outside, which you could have unscrewed and put inside that slide in bit to be able to control it, right? I like to put that guy in a lie detector tester. So yeah, a Kiwi has debunked your ass again, Turkish man. I'd be happy if there was some screw heads in there, but it doesn't mean he hasn't actually unscrewed some screw heads that go in this direction, right? There might be two little screw heads here. You can't quite see it in that one. But yeah, look, square bit matches up with that bit there. That hole there, if you unscrew a couple of screw heads and you wiggle it around, they're going to look like they're moving. Looks like a hole there. And then we got all that squiggly bits over here. Look, that matches up. That's a good match, I reckon. The alien heads here, you can see here, it looks like this bit here. What do you reckon? See what anyone out in the side chat there is watching. Who's up there on Pilled? Anybody? Who's there? Who's actually interested in real ufology rather than talking about leakers and all that nonsense? Man in Black, it's coming to get ya. Shoot alien. Of course, those that are members on YouTube can actually get those as well, but not as good. So yeah, what have we got currently on offer there? Got Alien Grey, Man in Black, Dog, Tyler Clockner in prison outfits. Okay, we got those ones. Does it come up? Let's see if I can zoom in on it. So we got those ones there. You can see they're a lot smaller. Not as good, unfortunately. Pilled obviously does things a lot better. How come it's not gone down though? Oh, there you go. So that's a better size, I reckon. Eh? Still got the same size font. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. But anyway. And of course, we got emanations, and we haven't got that on YouTube. It's way behind. So there's my solution there, I think. I think we did have the right part here. Maybe I should save that. Just as a reference. Got the sneezes again. Save as. How'd you do that into a 5-minute video? I don't know. But we'll have a look at all the other stuff yet. And I'll probably be doing another show tomorrow, or if not Monday. My regular live show. For those that do watch me. Yeah, let's come up here. So I want to choose JPEG. Final, maybe. Although I could do it better still. I suppose I could. I'm not sure if it's worth spending the time on it. Okay, it's a fairly big image, that one. Flatten. Like I could erase some of this So if you can pull that down and angle it a wee bit, it does look three-dimensional, right? It'll look three-dimensional, and it would explain why it's not straight on. And that's what happens when you finally process it, puts into one image. Now when we move it around, it's all screwed up. So we go undo, undo. Does that one move? No, we have to go back another one. And undo. There we go. So now we can move it around again. But yeah, I think we got the right parts, you know, finally. Apart from this one doesn't include the square bit. Right, it's a square bit that goes in front of this. So let's go back to the video and have a watch again. Jezebel, having a play, are you? Oh well, you're the only person here, so you might as well. And it must be really early in the morning for you to be here. You're either up very late or you're up very early. You're like me, I go to bed about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. So yeah, it would be what, 3 AM there, depending on daylight savings nonsense. 3 AM, 4 AM where you are. So, let me close that down now. Yeah, but if you think three-dimensionally, right, with the screw heads, that's what I was trying to say. I'll just close some of this down. We probably could find an angle of one of these parts where you can see the screw heads. It's going to have these little micro screws, right? So if I had to draw a picture of it, looking at that gap, looking downwards, let's see if I can draw it freehand. It's going to look pretty rough though. So we got the curved bit with the hole, and it's going around like that. Now it could be 2 screws or even 3 screws that have little screw heads on that go inside it, which are screwed down. So when you're looking on top with the hole, the screw heads would be, you know, like that, really tiny things like you get in watches. All it takes is to unscrew those almost fully, put it back into the lens, and there you got your scene set for faking a UFO craft. It's a shame that I debunked it, because I really wanted that one to be true myself. I can understand why people were resistant to let that one go, but yeah. But hopefully, unlike all the other talking heads out there, I've proven myself again as a really good video analysis and 3D visualizer. Because you got to visualize it and spin it around in your head, all these different angles, to see how it could be done. You know, Billy Meyer's models are fairly obvious on strings. This is a next level up. It's really clever, but it's also very stupid, because if you just look at that thumbnail again of all the different images going over the years, you can see he's perfected it. So 2007 ones, have we got any here? You can see a blurrier, and it's showing more of the lens that gives it away, right? But in 2009 he's showing less of the lens in different angles where it doesn't give it away, right? But back in 2007, look, it looks like a outside of a lens, you know. And if you go to 2008, he started perfecting it a wee bit better there. But again, some of the shots, like this one here, is that 2008 or 2007? So 2008 is where he perfected it, by the looks of it, and 2007 sort of gave it away too much, right? How could you think that was an alien craft? Come on, guys. Alright, you can see it's not an alien craft. It looks like something you're looking through a magnifying glass, which is a telephoto lens. It's some object, man-made object. There's the screw heads. Unscrewed, going upwards. So yeah, we need to go back to that video again and have a look at the earlier ones. But yeah, we'll have to have a watch of this one again. As he uses the moonlight to illuminate inside the lens and try and see it. See, he's trying to get the focus in. I don't know what he's mumbling there in Turkish. Then he saw where the lens flare was happening. Come on, come on. Get it right, get it right. There's the pin and the light. You can see that most people probably would have that set for long distance, and that little reflection would be like a little pin of light that wouldn't show up on the negative or the film. Or digital sensor. And you can see the square cut off bit here. So he's got the angle. See this angle here? So he's got to be careful not to touch how he's got the thing pulled slightly out to be able to pull this off. Else, I think you'd give away too much, right? Especially if other people are watching it on a big screen with a cable coming off the camera onto a monitor at the same time. Or they're filming his little screen that pops out. These have a little pop-out screen. Let's see. Camcorders, it used to be called, right? Camcorder. Probably spelled it wrong, but anyway, my eyes are gradually deteriorating. Has these little flip-off panels, LCD things with menu, and you can flip it around, show people, and you can use the eyepiece here while you're showing people on this side, and they could be recording it. Or you can rotate it around and look at it yourself. But yeah. Of course, it's only got better today, but now it's all digital. And SD cards. And probably more lightweight and longer batteries in it. And some of them actually have projector. So on the back, out here, they have like a LED that projects the whole image onto a wall. So you can actually put it on the ceiling or whatever, laying on your bed watching the video. You know, the old-fashioned projector. Let's see if we can find one with projector. I think they come out after 2009, 2015 maybe. Projector. It's probably spelled it wrong, have I? I got too many R's. Okay, here we got one that shows a projector. That one's got a little thing on it. There we go. Like a little movie projector. But we want one that shows it in video. So it's got one here. For a meeting, so you can project it like a normal projector, you know, the old school projectors. Pretty clever idea, I thought. There we go. Someone's got a picture of them using it. Can we zoom in on that one? And that's what you could do for a meeting, right? Just shine it on any dark wall. And you don't need a big LCD screen. Of course, the quality is going to be projector-like, right? It's not going to have the same definition as OLEDs. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up as well. Hey, we got someone up there now. We got the aliens shooting. I thought we had someone on the side chat on Pilled. I'd be very surprised if anyone comments on Pilled. I'm the most hated UFO channel out there for some reason. Despite I keep telling people that I'm not like Mick West at all. I'm actually a real truther that debunks the shit, focuses on the real stuff. But unfortunately, to focus on the real stuff obviously takes a lot of time, because we have to look at this stuff. Look how many hours I've spent on this Turkish one, just redoing it this week alone. Many days, you know, hours and hours every day, looking at it, trying to put it all together so I can present it in such a way that these guys can understand how it was done. You can see it was very complex. But I don't get no praise for it. So yeah, I think I had another picture of a lens flare or a reflection. I tried to find some examples online of these reflections. You can see it's on the same angle every time. It's on the same angle. Right. And there's where his reflection of the outside rim will be. It's always there. But have a look at the star map. You know, there's another video that Dr. Leir did a few days earlier. It's all much the same as that one there, except for the moon was more full. And I did some snapshots of into the sky star maps. If I can see it. Whereabouts was it? I'm pretty sure I saved them. Why can't I see them though? Here we go. This could be it here. Let's just open up that one. So I did a star map of the right time. And yeah, off the Dr. Leir visit, and it was 2 AM in the morning, having a look at the objects in the sky. And again, it matches what he's filming in the viewfinder for the 17th, and which is almost half a moon. So we can see it's decreasing. And we got all these other bright objects in the sky, which might be what Dr. Leir was seeing, right? And it's actually in the same, that's almost in the same course Australis. It said it's got good visibility, and that reflection would be overlaying where that star would be, probably, or close to it, right? So they think he's zooming into the bright light here, when in fact he's actually zooming in, mucking around with that levers and controls on the back side of the telephoto lens to be able to amp it up. As I said, as he's moving it up, he's not actually zooming with the telephoto, he's zooming with the teleconverter to make the image bigger and bigger as he zooms in, right? That's why you can't have the moon in the picture, because it's not possible. And any of the videos, you look at all his videos, he never ever pans up with the same zoom level from the craft to try and relocate the moon. And then I looked at another star around the moon, Chaos Media, which is the next one above it, just in case, that one, and that one's very good. But there's all sorts of other stars that they could have seen. Unfortunately, I wasn't there, so I can't say. So yeah, this is why, again, you have to use the apps. And plane finder wasn't around back in those days, so they couldn't eliminate planes in the sky, unfortunately. So it could have even been a plane that was heading towards them and then turned off and went away towards the airport. So it could have been landing lights as well. They could have been seen with their eyes. And maybe it was going away from him, turned and went away from him, then he zoomed in. Who knows? I wasn't there, but it's more likely they were seeing a star, and that's what they thought he was zooming into. They thought it was a UFO, and it was a star, and they thought he was zooming into it when he's actually zooming into the reflection. So yeah, let's just have a look at the other ones again. So we got the other 3 videos. So let's have a look at his earliest attempt at faking it there. And oddly enough, it's not available. I wonder why, because that one there gives off too many clues, unlike these ones here. Next one, 2008, also been removed. Correct stuff. Copyright. More. Okay. So 2000, 2009, over the sea, and Mamara, which I covered at the beginning. Istanbul coast. Okay. And we got some interviews with Dr. Leir. So I was hoping to find more of these ones. Probably could find other copies, probably. 2007, let's see if we can find it. Turkey UFO. Okay, bound to be lots of things. Now you might recall Lato said there's no way it could be a camera artifact. You might remember he was on lots of podcasts claiming that he analysed it and the expert, and he said no way could it be a camera artifact. So it just shows you leveled experts versus experts, right? Some are clueless, some actually do study and research and actually gives you the answer. That's me. I don't have the answers, I just follow the evidence and clues and put it all together. These guys think it's alien craft from the beginning, and so they're only going to focus on it being an alien craft rather than trying to say what else could it be. I try and get my mindset away from it being alien craft. So at first I thought it was a good UFO video, and actually they were filming creatures inside for a good couple of years, 3 years, and then I found some information on the camera, that picture of them holding the camera and talking about added lenses on it. And then I remember reading an article about the problems of camera artifacts with lenses and stuff, and I thought, okay, I got to re-investigate this. And if you saw some of my early lives, I tried to look for the parts. I couldn't find the parts that I needed to debunk that, but I've gone back over it and spent days searching, and I've now found all the close enough parts. So they might be the exact same parts, but they're still part of the model and used on the handy cam and all that sort of stuff. You know, it might not be exact the same old parts that he was using, and we probably won't be able to get the Turkey video. You can see it's putting up all this other garbage from TV news. Okay, that's another one that's a camera artifact. This UFO is not real. This again is a reflection inside the camera in the similar process of what we just went through. That was the one where they were taking a survey off the Costa Rica, was it? And they just got the right angle of light into the lens that illuminated part of the inside of the camera, and it showed up just once, right? The plane was turning, so it was like an early satellite mapping before Google come along with theirs. But anyway, yeah, that's another one that I also have debunked. But yeah, no one listens to me though. But you can see it's very hard to find footage. Let's try Dr. Leir in the title. Okay, so who we got here? Top 10 UFO channel 12 years ago. Another one, History Channel. But that would be the Dr. Leir one. That was some of the better footage where he had it actually right. But the problem is we get copyright claim on this one. So this is May the 13th when Dr. Leir was there.
Mile away and 500 feet
Okay.
above the sea. But watch what
And it's funny how all these people, even today, are promoting it as a real craft.
happens when Yelchin zooms in. Do you see that?
Do you see that? Screwheads.
Now take a look at the
Take a look at the footage. And he's pointing out the aliens.
Yelchin is sure he's made contact. In fact,
He's a liar. Is that him? Coming up as an interview. So this is a guy. Turkish guy. He looks a bit different now. Not so fat in the face as those early photos. You're a scammer, mate. Hoaxer. It's about time you come clean on how you did it.
Bizler olmasak yarın öbür gün gelecekte bunlar insan.
Educate mankind. So he sounds like a Bledsoe type character. And I'd like to see the full interview so we can do body language analysis on him. See which way he's looking to see if he's retrieving it from memory or if he's making it up. So you can see here he couldn't really get it in focus at all. Despite saying this is the best footage, right? That tells me it has to be in the camera.
for Institute Director George Haas, Yelchin's video is just one
So these are the experts that don't know.
of many recent sightings.
In 2000.
So yeah, got to be careful here. Why can't people like me see that's the outside of a camera? But inside the camera, I mean, the circle a bit inside the camera. Analysis. This guy here is going to say what? This is Primo, whatever his name is.
Excessive amounts of compression were applied to these pixel areas, but I don't detect any evidence of this program interacting with something that would introduce CGI.
So we know it's not CGI.
There's no indication that they were trying to deceive.
He's wrong. They have deceived you, but they did it the old-fashioned way.
Or mislead.
So if it doesn't appear we have a doctored video, has Yelchin really been dealing with aliens? We take that.
And this guy should know better too. He had no clue on it.
A question to astronomer and video effects designer Mark D'Antonio.
He's way behind the ball line, this guy.
Back in 2009, we didn't have the cameras we have today, he's zooming in
No, optics.
on it all the way. And in my view, I don't think that you're going to be able to see anybody in a craft like that.
No, you'd have to have a really good telephoto when you think about it. Better see faces inside the craft.
That's like saying, if you zoom in on an airliner going by, can you see people?
People in the windows, no.
And the answer is
no.
no.
Even today, cameras can't do it. So is he going to say it's fake? He'll say, I don't know.
Because the windows are still too small.
So what?
This expert, he ain't got a clue.
What does aviation expert Tim McMillan think?
How did he become an aviation expert being an ex-cop? That's what I'd like to know.
Turkey is a NATO member and has the second largest army in the organization.
Who cares about that? There we go.
Different annual drills that...
He's got a sort of like a Hitler haircut there. If he had a Hitler moustache, he'd be a spitting image of Hitler.
Simulating wartime environments. However, all of the telltales...
So he could shave his thing there, couldn't he? He did like early Hitler. He's got the hand movements going.
Signs of aircraft as we know them are really kind of thrown out of the window.
That's garbage, isn't it?
Definitely don't have any aircraft.
Yeah, I'd probably get a copyright claim on it, but I probably don't care. I can always censor the one on YouTube and put it up elsewhere without any problems.
That are lenticular or saucer shaped.
Yeah, so no one's done any analysis like I have today to show you how the angles work and all that sort of stuff, right? And I've cut out a lot of that processing for you for hours of watching me draw circles on the screen, but yeah, I was after the 2007 footage though. Let's scroll this. Was there any 2007? Because it was a lot more crappier. About time Mick West solved it, right? I've given him enough clues now that he can put it on his webpage there. Free of charge, of course. We want this May 13th. Have they got the May 13th one there as well? Probably not. We've got the May 15th. I want to go back another 2 days. 17th. Oh. What have we got going on here? No. Yeah, we already answered that one as well, which Mick West hasn't got either. So there's the angle. Definitely lens flare or reflection, right? Ship on the water, totally different angle. And if it was over here, it would be too far away. If you go on the same angle, it'd be too far away. 17th. I seem to like the 17th one for some reason. Of course, people were talking about high mask lights. Some of them were high mask lights. So some of the pictures in the collection were high mask lights. Some were even the moon itself out of focus, and some were definitely planes as well. There's a whole shebang of videos that come out during that mass hypersteria event. So what happened is Dr. Leir went to do a UFO conference or congress in May 2009. So that was the third year, and the guy was outside filming, so he went to stand next to him to see what all the fuss was. And he saw the moon and this other little bright object in the sky, and he saw the cameraman filming it. I'm not sure if he actually looked on the LCD pop-out screen or not, probably did, and saw the zoomed-in image of the craft. So he verified it all. He said that was real time, it wasn't hoax for CGI and all that sort of stuff. So he confirmed all that side of it. Doesn't mean it wasn't hoaxed in another clever way. So yeah. There's the beach, and it's looking over that side where all the wind farm is. But yeah, where's all the old videos? We want the old ones. May 17th still, they're still stuck on that one. And that's it. That's it for Mick West. Is there any other pages? Did I miss something? I think that's it, isn't it? Let me just open it up. Can't see any more pages to it. So that's the best Mick West has come up with. I think I did a way better job on it. But I won't get any respect from Mick, and he won't put it up on his page. Because he doesn't like me. His politics are not the same as mine. So I'll post a link to that so you can have a look at Metabunk. I thought Mike King might have popped along today, but I think his son's on his computer and probably playing a game, doesn't want to tell him. Mick's page. We'll just go through all. Next page, just to round up the slideshow on it. How can I turn it into a 5-minute video? I don't know. Yeah, I think maybe it's just impossible to do that. People just got to spend the time listening and following along, I think. Yeah, so that's Mick's page done. There's no other useful stuff on there from what I could see. I found this also was quite interesting. I found this here, Venus and Jupiter are right next to the moon. And I thought, could they explain some of the brightness? But of course they weren't on the sky, into the sky mapping software. So, but this happened also in November 2008. So I thought maybe Venus and that may have been near the moon at the time of the 2009, but it wasn't. So I thought that was quite interesting. That was happening in 2008, the time of all the sightings. So I could see how people could think that was a UFO back in 2008 at least. But yeah, I'll just get rid of that one. That was the map that I showed you of the wind farms. I might just post, oh, it won't fit, will it? I was going to post a link to that map so you can have a look for yourself. But look at all that stuff on the end there. We want like a shortened URL for it. But if you bring up Google Maps and type in this yourself, wind farm near Turkey, that's how they spell Turkey. I'll give you a list like this and put all these little icons. It really helps out a lot. And we know the cameraman was standing there. So that solves the red lights as far as I'm concerned. And of course I found this information here. I was looking for examples, but all I could find is people talking about camera artifacts using these converters. And this guy said reflection inside adapter, which is exactly what we have figured out too. But he's using a different brand here. I noticed that when mounting my Nikon, whatever that is, AI lenses to an adapter, there is a potential light reflection problem. looking into the adapter when it's on the lens, I see that much of the shiny bright light base ring of the Nikon lens is visible. So he's talking about the ring, the shiny bit of metal that goes around the outside, which is basically what I've been saying. And this is in 2018, so there's got to be a lot of people that have noticed this reflection with these adapters, and maybe they don't keep the photographs and put it up on web, but I couldn't find any. Doesn't mean there's not some out there, but maybe they haven't scanned it and put it onto the net to show people what to watch out for. I was wondering if during an exposure light will bounce from the shiny sensor to the shiny surface and then back to the sensor. Bingo! Thereby lighten the darks and reducing the contrast. Have any of you noticed this having an adverse impact? I'm wondering if it might be smart to stuff this area with black yarn. Seems a bad idea, or even using black tape. Hey, I'm like the black tape. I use masking tape and all sorts of things. Loss of contrast for internal reflections is a possibility with some adapters. There you go. I heard that sometimes a simple circular baffle from a black card can prevent the issue. Other times lining the inside of the adapter works better. There you go, guys. So if it had like some sort of cover that he unscrewed and it revealed some metal workings, there's your UFO. The ideal material to use is a specialist black flocking solid. Especially for this type of use, black paper or similar is probably sufficient for most. I had an adapter where internal reflections cause problems on the image. I cut around the disc and with a rectangle. Rectangle, here we go. Cut out in the center, which is basically what we're seeing on his one. Spray painted both sides flat black and glued to the inside of the back of the adapter. I used UV activated glue. There you go. Internal reflections can occasionally be a problem. Sometimes in bad cases there can be visible reflections in the image. What's the next one saying? Whatever you do, be careful there is no loose stuff. The telescope flocked sheets are used mostly on hoods can shed. Not good for shutters. Okay, got a shiny cheap Pentax K to Q adapter. The worst possible scenario as light just funnels down the cone to the inundate the tiny sensor. Grabbed a small brush and a $2 bottle of matte black. Shows what people can do. They modify their cameras. Dries in about 12 minutes to try and fix problems. Well, you could actually then produce problems. So this is fixing problems with built adapters, and that's even back in 2018. So there you go, guys. The guy faked it, and he knows he did. Now here we go, my Photo Diux DLX stretched adapter gave me circles on every frame. Did it give you UFOs? So that's the best I could find. If you want to take it even further than what I have here and can prove it better than I can, go ahead. Or if you want to challenge me, disprove what I've presented today. I bet no one will disprove me, but they'll simply call me lots of names. You know, they call you fatty, boss-eyed, I don't know, government shill. That's hilarious. I've been called a government shill like Mick West has, but I'm not like Mick West. Far from it. Okay, so these are the other interviews. Okay, let's have a listen to the interviews. And we might just wrap it up there. And if I have to do another live on it in another year's time, I will. And each time I do it, I'll get better and better at it. I'll get it more refined, probably. Let's just play a bit of this. It's probably copyrighted. Okay, so he's talking about when he went outside from the conference and met the cameraman and all the hoo-ha going on.
We're more interested at that point in the moon than the little bright light that was under it. But the camera that we were using had a 400 millimeter lens on it and an electronic doubler. So as we pushed on the craft, which means focused or on the
focused on the internal reflection
craft, it got more clear and more clear and more clear.
In fact, it's not really clear, as we've noticed. Gets to a certain point where it's a blob of light to this, and that's it.
And when we centered on it, those are the shots that became famous.
And yet, that was back in 2009 he was here, but they're showing other images from 2008, but I haven't seen 2007.
Were you astounded when you saw the video?
Oh yeah, you can hear us, the exclamations being made. It's up.
All the swear words.
On YouTube. It's been up for some time, but you can hear the exclamations made both in Turkish and in English for those of them.
Yeah. Do Turkish have swear words? No way.
That were standing there, because we were looking at it on the monitor for the camera.
So he was saying here that he was actually looking at that little pop-out LCD screen. You think if they're filming it from all those years and days prior, because there's a video from May the 13th and May the 15th, May 17th. You think they'd had time to set up an outside TV screen so everybody could see it on the big screen, right? Rather than trying to focus on a little tiny little screen on the camera.
How many people were there?
Oh, at that point we...
Okay, what do we got here? So this is, again, hey, more than 4 lights. So what year was that one? Okay, that again is the wind farm with Fata Morgana. 2008, was it? Or was that 2006 there? 2008. And we got this one here with only a few lights showing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2008 as well. And you can see the 2009 is the best ones. 2008 not so good. But you haven't got 2007 up.
Must have had between 6 and 8 people.
6 and 8 people, so not thousands of people then. Not too many people interested by the sounds of it. Okay, let's just go back to the beginning.
Now this video, some people say it's hoaxed, some people say
I say it's hoaxed.
It's the real deal.
99% of the UFO Twitter crowd will say it's the real deal still, even if they watch my show.
I don't know whether you know or not, whether it's the real deal or not, but it certainly is one of the best videos we've ever seen close up.
I'm not sure who's interviewing.
Of what purports to be a UFO. Do you know anything about that one? It's supposed to be from Istanbul, Turkey.
If this is the video, which is called a Kamburgis video, which is a close-up of a craft,
okay, so again, it sounds just like watching Third Phase of the Moon and Goofball that keeps saying stuff is a craft when it clearly isn't.
In fact, so close that you can see the occupants.
No, you couldn't. It's just a little blurry blobs.
It is 100% real, and I was there as that was filmed.
Okay, that's
So
why.
he was there when he was standing next to the cameraman. You don't actually see it with his eyes, and that's the one thing that people keep thinking, that he's seen it with his eyes.
I wanted to hear. I wanted to know.
Up on my website.
You can see none of it's 2007. That's really strange, isn't it? So let's finish with that one. But I'll put a link to it so you can have a listen to the full interview. I'm just playing clips of it. Dr. Leir. It's not one of the first interviews either. It's one of the later ones. What year was that posted up? 9 years ago. Shows you it's still going around today. It's been around and still people think it's the best footage ever. Because they don't watch my channel. So there's another interview here I had. As you can see, I've got lots of tabs for tomorrow. Another day. Close that one down. This is one of the early interviews where he's in Turkey, I think. Dr Leir on site in Turkey on May the 15th, 2009, translated to English. So that would have been 2 days after that May the 13th sighting they were showing you there. I think it might have it in here as well. Let's just have a look. There we go. Dr. Leir was a speaker at the 4th International UFO Congress in Istanbul, Turkey, not the US one. So he's there talking about alien implants, of course, and of course he sees this cameraman before the conference and adds it in a few nights before, obviously. Well, there he witnessed the Turkey UFO. The following interview while he was in Turkey.
Doctor Leir, usted ha pasado los últimos días en la costa de Turquía en compañía de Antonio Ursi y Yalcin Yalman.
And it's also been translated to Spanish for South Americans.
Con el fin de conocer de cerca sus casos. ¿Cuál es su opinión sobre todo esto?
Okay, so he's saying the same stuff we already heard. Is there anything else? Leir did several interviews about his experience in Turkey before he passed away. Yeah. Which is a bit sad loss, I guess, but it's funny how UFO researchers die so young. Maybe there's more going on, right? To date, the objects in Kumburgas still remain unexplained. As of 8 years ago, it may have been. That's when I just popped onto the scene and solved it after 2011, was it? No, 2000, I mean. 2019, I think I solved it. Or 2018, but anyway. And that's it. So that was the Turkey interview. Was there any other links to the other videos? That's what we're trying to find. I think I got some links posted in my older ones where you can find all the raw footage. There. And I bet that's the 2009 one that they were talking about. Oh, right here. We might find it here. Okay, what do we got? 2008, 2009 in daytime, where you get the red lights. Increased quality. How do they get increased quality? Exactly. Did they muck around with the filters? What else we got here? 2009. Well, that one looks crazy, doesn't it? And 2008 again. 2008, 2009 there. Where's all the 2007s? Yeah. I want to. Oh, here we go. Let's have a look at the 7 one. We know it's going to be crap, right? It's going to be his first try at doing this hoax. Here we go. Just a segment. It looks worse. A lot more blurry. You can see it's chopped off here. That's that square bit inside the adapter.
Tam yukarıda bak, görüyor musunuz? Beyaz bir ışık.
And you can see it's cropped off. It looks like a nice little rectangle going on. Okay, what's he going to do now?
Kuyruklu yıldızın yanında.
Notice how the light source is always on this side, which is kind of interesting. So, is there a light source up here? Is it the moon this time?
Evet. Onun yanında.
And he's just... How's he getting it to wobble around? Well, apparently when you do those teleconverters, any slight hand movement or wobble is really exaggerated. And you get that, you notice that with telephoto lenses. But if this is inside the camera and it's moving around before it gets to the telephoto, it's more amped up. You can see it's not actually moving left and right and up and down really. I think it's just that something's loose in the camera, and it's just normal hand shake. He hasn't got on a tripod there. That's what it is. Yeah, it's clever. I have to give him that. A clever fake. Okay, so it's 5 PM 2007, this one, is it?
Okay.
And there's that artifact coming up. So what light source is there? Because he didn't show us. It looks like a lens flare even at that stage, doesn't it? We got some bright light sources next to him here. Looks like it's off camera, the light source though. It looks like a lens flare. Maybe he's not going to zoom into it, this one.
Evet, kaydediyorum işte. Vallahi gidiyor abi. Ağır ağır gidiyor, bak görüyor musun?
Oh no, it looks like they've joined two videos together here. That looks like a plane moving slowly across the sky, isn't it?
Uçak olmasa da imkan yok onun.
Yeah, that one's a plane, isn't it? You can see it blinking. And we can see some red in it. Of course, we can't blame them back in those days because they didn't have the plane flight radar app on their phones. They didn't even have phones, probably. Or actually, 2007, wasn't it? Just when the early camera phones come out, wasn't it?
Bak çok ağır gidiyor, görüyor musun?
I'd say that's a distant plane.
Uçak olsaydı ışığı çakardı, bilmem ne yapardı.
And we know Istanbul airports up the coast to the left here. So that's flying away. So it's going to get smaller. Yeah, so the tractor's there. Went from that to another time. So that's 4:50 p.m. And then he does a far away shot of a plane moving in the sky. June 30th. It's the same time, but went to the 20 minutes in between is what I want to know. Or 24 minutes. Went till the 24 minutes in between. Because then you should have zoomed out, right, and seen this thing moving across the sky. You can see there's a lot of trickery done. Let's see what else. We want the 2009 footage that Dr. Leir saw. Was it that one? Let's have a look at the time. I think it was May the 13th we were after. Wasn't it? Or have I got it wrong? Let's just go to this one here. This one might have better stuff. This is another documentary on TV and it's that Robert or Bob Cavat guy, which I don't like because I've tried to contact him and he won't reply to me, saying I can solve a lot of his ones that he keeps promoting and he doesn't have to keep promoting them anymore. But he's not interested. This guy is useless, as I said. So let's have a listen to what Bobbert's got to say.
You have something you can compare it to. Now, interestingly enough, though no one's been able to really debunk this, people have
bullshit.
tried. People have said that maybe.
So this is May 13th one. So this is the time that Dr. Leir was watching this one. So we finally got it, and you can see it's probably one of the better ones. It's even better than what he did on the 15th and the 17th. Looks a bit more clearer.
Maybe they were in some kind of room creating some.
When you think about it, though, if that was zoomed in on a small craft or a window, these aliens are going to be super big heads. Not just your usual size, you know, like we're used to, but really, really big. They'd have to be like ginormous grey aliens.
Some kind of an effect. It doesn't appear so. And when you look at all three of the videos.
So he's not an expert. He doesn't think it's some sort of effect.
Which actually they all look very similar. This one in 2009 was shot
with Dr. Leir. So they even look like screw heads, right? You can see the stems coming down. So some guy did a lot of analysis on it and sharpened it. And I did an early video with some of those images. And they did look like aliens, but that's only because you can see that they mucked around with the filters in a way that it looked like alien eyes on it, big eyes on the heads.
With a top American research.
So this is the best quality. This ain't zoomed into a super sharp. Can you see the eyes there? You can't, can you? It actually looks like it might even go in the side here. So that kind of looks like it could have been one of those pinheads, right? Levers, like a lever with a bobble thing on it, so you can get the fingernail on it. And
researcher by the name of Dr. Leir, who has since passed on, unfortunately. But he.
So what year was this one put up? 4 years ago. So that's when I put out my first debunk, right? So there was solutions out there.
He witnessed it with his own eyes, and I can tell you, he's given.
That's lies. He did not witness it with his own eyes. He saw it on the camera LCD screen.
And some really great testimony.
It's not like he had a pair of binoculars with 100 times zoom and saw it with his own eyes through the binoculars. Wasn't even that.
Testimonial interviews before he died, where he really gave this credibility. And the UFO seems...
poor Dr. Leir, he got used badly. He got con big time.
...to have come back in the morning, where you can see it way off in the distance by the ocean.
Which is the wind farm lights this time.
And even animals have reacted to it. There's a dog you can...
He's talking about this one, the dog. Yeah, dogs tend to look out towards the oceans. I don't know if you've ever been a dog owner and taken them to the beach, but they're always looking out to the beach because there's a lot of movement happening and they see birds.
See in some of the video. So overall, I would say this is one of the most intriguing videos. There's very little that people have debunked it with. I mean, very little.
Yeah, he needs to watch my stuff, doesn't he?
You could say, and it may go down maybe as one of the proof positive images of...
No, not with this Kiwi guy in New Zealand.
not only a UFO or a ship of some...
Mind you, these were some of the enhancements here they've added on the end here. Mind you, I don't think I'll ever get mentioned on this. Only be a handful of these people know what's happening here, which is a bit unfortunate.
Some kind, but actually...
Okay, so this one here is one of the enhancements I did, and it kind of looks like they got eyes here, but it's not the big black eyes. It's kind of like skinny eyes, isn't it? But this is because there is some rolling shutter happening. Hang on. I think it was a CCD camera. No, it can't be rolling shutter. But it could be motion. Could be interlace. I'm not sure if it was non-interlaced or not. Where the image has got stretched downwards. It kind of looks like a screw head though. And it's got a shadow off the screw head here, which is where the eyes are. And then you got the screw thread, which looks like a mouth, right? The screw thread would go downwards like that. Well, actually, it's going down on an angle here. And that one looks like a lever that goes into the side. You know, when I explain it to you, it makes perfect sense. But, you know, if someone's saying that's aliens, that's all you're going to think.
The beams inside what appear to be the cockpit. So, tell me what you think. Give me your thoughts.
How come also, hang on, how come the UFO hasn't got a top to it? You know, it's not a proper window, right? There's a little gap. It's like they got a convertible UFO where it's got no cover over top, right? And their heads are higher than the thickness of the so-called craft. Why is their head sticking up? I think the Bob Cavat, he got brainwashed. He's got the head's haircut like Mr. Spock, I just noticed.
First of all, be sure to subscribe so you'll know when my next
documentary on bullshit comes out.
Appearance here on Bill's channel will be. And
Bill's channel. He's got 2.5 million subscribers. So let's have a look at who Bill is. If you want to put up my debunk on it, he can. He just needs to contact me. I'm quite happy to share my work with people to get it out there, right? I'm not about the money. He's only got one live. Shorts. How many shorts he got? He's got a few of them. Does it actually say? Alright, he's only got about 5. So how did he manage to get 2.5 million viewers? Who is Bill, anyway? Someone that works on Discovery Channel, by the looks of it. Bill's channel. Adventure, Discovery, Mystery. I don't know, maybe he doesn't work for History Channel. Okay, he's got lots of videos. How many has he got? Not that many. Oh, it just keeps on going. So what's he talking about? Bigfoot, cryptics, crabs, dinosaurs, Father Christmas, lions. So pretty much anything that people would be interested in. Big goldfish, spirit boards. He's got the whole shebang here. Proof. What do we got? Proof of Bigfoot skull. Let's have a look at that one, shall we? I'll post a link to his channel anyway, so you can have a look. He's got music on it. It's only a short too, isn't it? But he's done it wrong. Real or fake? Just mute it. Going. Where are we going? Looks like a satellite. We're going to see Bigfoot from satellite. Oh yeah. Street view. Alright, that looks reminds me of those Bigfoot people that likes to dress up in Bigfoot costumes. What were they called now? Can't think of the company, but yeah. Yeah, I remember that one. What's this one? Looks like he's taking a series of all different videos and is actually compiled together into landscape view, so it wasn't a short after all. He's just using other people's videos. Fair use. So that means I can use it too. Let's see, has it still got music?
Canada may belong to, yep, that's right, the old Sasquatch.
Now, there has been reports that apes and stuff escape from circuses, and owners like Michael Jackson hadn't released them into the wild because they didn't want to have them killed. There's some of the explanations for it. But yeah, have a look at the Expedition Bigfoot. I think they're on the right track and they'll find the answers, I think. But it does look like it's two-legged and walks upright. Whatever it is, whether it's a crossbred type of bear, who knows? Or alien, or whatever. It could be any of the above. Oh yeah, I was going to post a link to that, wasn't I? Since we used it. But I'll probably still try and get a claim from him. Wait and see, shall we? We'll see how many people tried to claim it. There we go. I want to get that one. I'll just post it there.
You have something you can compare it to. Now, interestingly enough, though.
I had enough listen to that one. Copy that one. How do you spell his name? Kivet or Kivet? I forgot. Is it K-A or K-I? K-I. Kivet. Caveat. If he wants to contact me to talk about my bunks, he can. Well, I'm forever going to be trashing and talking them otherwise. Instead of ignoring me. I still have spelled it wrong, haven't I? I don't know. Caveat. Caveat. Still got it wrong. Caveat, finally on Turkey. You'll see it in a minute. I'm just zooming into the other screen at the moment, so it shows up wrong. So it's there at the bottom. Shit. Why isn't it not gone in? Or has it? No. Got to type it again. There's one thing, it's getting really hot in this room. And I forgot about that. I should have put the fan on. I didn't expect it to get hot because it was a rainy day outside. But now it's gone muggy and hot in here. But I'm pretty much finished up on this Turkey one anyway, by the looks of it. Anyone wants to add anything to it, let me know. Or forever hold your peace. Where's all the haters? Why aren't you here questioning me? And I can answer your concerns on it. So yeah, looks like it's in a playlist of some kind. They reckon the raw videos, but it doesn't look like it to me. Looks like it's every video. Turkey raw footage. I'll post a link to that as well. So there you go. I think I'm done my dash on that now. I'll just skim through all the images in case I missed something. Anyone out there disagree with what I presented today? Anyone agree with what I presented today? I think I've only had 2 people watching and only one on the side has been talking, but I think it's got too late for them. 5 AM in the morning. So let's just go through all the images again, just to see if there's anything I forgot. It's quite a complex little debunk. So we've got that lens. I'll go full screen. And we've got the original frame of that one. Telephoto of all the glass lens. 2008. That one's not very good, is it? That's a really bad one. Another inside one of these adapter lenses. Another one. All the nooks and crannies. But that explains the square bits. My initial analysis. Where the video frame was captured versus the square opening. And then the overlay of what I think is what we're seeing. And working out the angle, how it must have been inserted. And the directional lens flares always on that angle. Another inside of the lens with various bits and pieces inside. All the lenses clipped together. All the different parts. Another look inside another lens here where you can see square bits and these curved lines which we see at the bottom of the UFO. And there's another one with different arrangement again with the levers and stuff. And another one explaining all the levers. And that one there, which is the best match for our UFO. Another thing for lens flare. Although I don't know if that one is rendered or not. Again, it's in that same direction. Another lens, more clearer one. Another crazy long flare. My star maps for the day. The guy filming it. The square opening. Do exist, so that explains that one. A snapshot of the map of the solar farms, the wind farms, and the map from the information showing where they were standing and looking opposite the wind farms. Another candy cam that he had, different model but same brand. Drop-in filter adapter. My fun now. So you can see here it says Canon GL1 with a Sony teleconversion lens, but it doesn't talk about the adapter. On that one, yeah, I think on the other one it did. Let's see. Teleconverter mounted on adapter. So this one actually talks about the adapter. Oh, what's happened? Hit the wrong button. And we're back around again. So if you can find out anything better than I have there after days and days of researching it to put it together here, go ahead. Post comments and questions under the video once it's there on YouTube and other media, as it will be on Pilled, of course. And I'll see if I can answer it. Anything I missed, or if you find something better than I put together today, go ahead. But as far as I know, I'm the only one that's debunked it like this. And do share it around so more people can actually see the solution to it. Anyway, I'm going to wind it up there. And I'll see you again in the future, guys. So I'll say good night here. That one was a bit dropped off the bottom here. Good night. Hey Jasper, you did reply. I just saw your comment. All in, all agreed. Yeah. So I don't think all experts are equal, Jasper? Now I wouldn't say I was an expert, but I do research and I do comprehend complex things and able to transform it into lay terms for everyone to understand. And that's what I can bring to the UFO field, I think. And no one's supporting me, as you can see. I should have thousands of people watching and interacting on the side, shouldn't I? But I don't. because people don't like people like me for some reason. And yet you think I'd be welcomed, and because they want scientists like me to be able to prove what is real and what is not. And so get me a video that's really, really good. And if I can't debunk it, then you can say then that's a real thing. Alright. Now, all videos can be faked. Video footage alone won't be enough. But if you've got multiple angles of the same thing, alright, so it's just one guy filming it, why is there not another guy with the same camera filming it? You see what I mean? And if he couldn't get the same thing and the same camera mate right next to him, then there should be red flags. Ding, 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 ding. This guy's hoaxed it somehow. So why aren't people asking those hard questions? Anyway, it just annoys me, as you know. So yeah, good night, and yeah, thanks for saying it's a good show. That means at least one person out of 8 billion in the world followed along and accepted the truth, which is good. So yeah, I'll just close down and say goodbye there. Goodbye, alien. And where's my thing to shut it down? Here we go. How many hours did I spend on that? Too many. But again, who else does life debunks like me and takes all the risk of making themselves look stupid? You won't get Mick West on it. Okay, I gotta end it unpilled. My nose has even got blocked, so I'm breathing through my mouth and it's very dry. It's so hot in this bedroom, it must be like 28 degrees Celsius at least. Maybe my next version will be condensed to a 10-minute episode. Who knows? But we'll get there eventually.